Thank you for joining us for another daily devotion. We love you. We hope you're doing well. We have a big day ahead of us today as we take our kids to Decatur. We're going to a place where they can get their silhouettes done like that. There's a little Hollis's silhouette, and here's Stone. And so we're going to get those updated and do some other ones. But it's very, very interesting. When you look at this, it's really just the shadow. It's just what is there in their silhouette, and you can kind of see the design of the person, but you don't really get to see all the beautiful intricacies of the person. And so this is one of those keepsakes that we love. It reminds us of a time when they were small as they get bigger, and it reminds us of their profile and those kind of things. But if you just understood the profile, you can kind of miss the real beauty of a person, and you can miss some of those things that make them unique, and the way that God designed them in who they are, their smile, the way their eyes can light up a room, the enjoyment on their face, the expressions and the personality that come out in a real picture. And so I want to read this from Hebrews chapter 8. It says this. It says, "Now the main point of what is being said is this: we have this kind of high priest who sat down at the right hand of the throne of majesty in the heavens, a minister of the sanctuary and the true tabernacle that was set up by the Lord and not man. For every high priest is appointed to offer gifts and sacrifices. Therefore, it was necessary for the priest also to have something to offer. Now, if he were on earth, he wouldn't be a priest, since there are those offering the gifts prescribed by the law. These serve as a copy and shadow of the heavenly things. As Moses was warned when he was about to complete the tabernacle, for God said, 'Be careful that you make everything according to the pattern that was shown to you on the mountain.' But Jesus has now obtained a superior ministry, and to that degree, he is the mediator of a better covenant, which has been established on better promises." And so what you see is to know this. What he's saying in verse 13 of chapter 8, he says, by saying a new covenant, he has declared that the first is obsolete, and what is obsolete and growing old is about to pass away. The good news of the gospel is this, is that the Old Testament law, the Old Testament sacrificial system, all of those things. So the law is like a mirror that reveals to us that we are sinful and in desperate need of a Savior, that we are not righteous, that we do not live up to the standard that God has put forward. And then the sacrificial system reminds us of the extreme cost of sin, that the wages of sin is death. And so something has to die. Something has to be either disconnected from the vine, something has to die as far as an animal sacrifices, something in our place. And so then what we see in the beauty of the New Testament is that all of those things that were shadows, everything, every piece of the temple that was a shadow, whether that be the basin where you had to wash, we've been washed in the blood of Christ, whether that be the showbread and the table of showbread, Jesus is the bread of life, whether that be the separating veil that was torn when Jesus was crucified on the cross, whether that be the Holy of Holies, the seat of mercy, where the presence of God dwells, which now dwells inside of us, which makes us the temple of God. All of these things were shadows of what was to come in Jesus Christ. And that is because he is the great high priest. He willingly and was able to lay down his life. So he offered the sacrifice in that he was offering himself. John tells us that no one took his life from him. So the words of Jesus says, "But I lay it down of my own accord." And then not only that, but he is also the priest that is offering it. He's also the lamb that is slain. So while he is the priest offering the sacrifice, he's also the sacrifice himself. And so this is a true and better picture. This is a true and better revelation of what has happened. So you see what was once just the shadow. So we had this shadow over here. Suddenly you can see the fullness of the picture, and you can see those expressions. You can see the clarity of what comes forward in a real picture. And what has been revealed to us is that Christ has met our need in all things that we need. He is the great high priest. He is the lamb that was slain. He is the Lamb who takes away the sin of the world, and he is coming back again, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, coming in victory and showing us that he has paid it all. Be encouraged today and know that what was once a shadow has now been revealed in the new covenant in Jesus. Thank you so much.